I wanted to talk about the most recent anime I watched this past. When was it? When did it come out? This past Saturday, right? No, Friday. This past Friday. It was a 2-ep show that was coming out, which, for a premiere, that's not really like anything new. But, if they have a lot to put into those first 2 episodes, or that first episode, they're usually going to push it to 2. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. It was Lord of Mysteries, or LOTM, which is Lord of the Mysteries. I don't know why the abbreviation has a T in it. And then the whole word is, or the whole phrase is Lord of the Mysteries. And then Crunchyroll does Lord of Mysteries. I feel like, I'm going to get back to this point. I feel like that's just a translation error or issue. And another thing for that, I do feel like that the translation errors come into the subs, but I'll get back to that in a second. So this show is the most popular thing on Twitter for a cool minute, or wherever you guys indulge in your anime news, like everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. You couldn't go on Twitter without seeing something about LOTM, because it's going to be the next big thing. Animation, beautiful. From every trailer that I saw. And they were pushing out trailers like no big deal. They were pushing out trailers like there was a new trailer. I thought I was getting spoiled for how many trailers they were showing, even though everything was out of context and no subs. That was a big thing too. Every trailer that I saw leading up into it a month, 2 weeks ahead, you know what I mean? Everything leading up to it was either ripped off of Tubely or wherever people indulge in their raw Japanese content. But all the trailers I saw was either 720p quality, which it still looked great, but no subs, no context, no nothing. So the problem with that is I don't know what the show's about, which I guess is okay. But now I'm just hearing people telling me this show is going to be really good. You have to watch it, and the animation's fire. But I don't know what it's about. That's perfectly fine. So when Friday finally came, I had to shove things aside. And I wanted to watch it. 2 hours. Now listen, these aren't just normal anime episodes though. These are 35-minute anime episodes. 35 big schmackaroons. Usually anime episodes are only 24 minutes at best. And they don't even, sometimes if they don't have end credits, oh man. If they don't have end credits, then you're feeling like you're stuck there forever. And imagine 35 minutes. So let's just say the last 2 minutes, let's say the opening or the ending, blah, blah, mixed all together. That's at least 2 minutes per. We're looking at an hour and 5 minutes of content, which is insane. That just tells me they had to shove a bunch of content into, from the novel, they had to shove a bunch into the episodes themselves. So going into it blind, I watched it. I watched it on stream. You guys watched it with me. And when I watched it on stream, I made sure to pay attention. Right now on the channel, I'm only watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to be watching a lot of the new seasonals that are going to be airing, but I'm only watching Hunter x Hunter. I think I'm on episode like 70 right now on Twitch and Patreon. And I think I'm on like episode, 55 on YouTube. And when I started watching Hunter x Hunter, I wanted to do my due diligence and take notes. I wanted to take notes of everything that I was watching, because I knew that this show had really good potential from what the grapevine, from what other people told me, and I wanted to do it justice and understand everything. Take notes, remember names, understand the power system, because that was a big deviate for Hunter x Hunter. The power system was going to be a little bit hard to follow along, so I made sure to understand it. Now, hopping into the first episode of LOTM, the power system was basically laid out in front of us. Kinda. Like they were explaining something that I didn't know was the power system at first. That was a big issue too. Like I was like, okay, understand. And then we moved away from the power system for so long, and then they started talking about it again a little bit later, but it was never like directed again at it. It was that. So that's a key point that I want to just hold here so we can keep coming back to it. Lack of context. Over and over again, lack of context. So I watched all the way through the first episode, and I'm going to keep it 100. I felt like someone blindfolded me, spun me around, and told me to swing at a fucking piñata, because I had no idea what was going on in the show at all. But it was visually appealing. Some of the best visuals I've seen in a show in a long time. I'm like, perfect. This is gas, but it's confusing, right? Why is this it looks so good, but I'm not understanding a damn thing. I've been down this road before. I've watched Steins Gate. I feel like Steins Gate is one of those shows that the first 7 or 8 episodes were some of the hardest anime I've ever had to watch through, but the payoff was really good. But I was going off of what the grapevine said. Just keep watching. I'm like, perfect. But it felt like I was treading through mud. This one's not mud, though. Like, this one didn't feel like treading through mud because it was visually appealing and a lot of action was happening. Just didn't know what was going on. Now, people told me to look at context clues, foreshadowing, all that good stuff. I'm like, that doesn't help me in the moment. So I gave it its flowers. I'm like, all right, perfect. Let's see how the second episode goes. Second episode, started understanding a little bit more who Klein is. I forgot what the word was that everyone was on my ass about. What's the word, chat? Where it's the isekai word that everyone keeps using, that everyone was flaming me about, that I didn't know. It starts with the transmigration. There we go, transmigrate. Yeah, listen, I don't watch isekais at all. At all. I don't know what transmigration means. That's the first time I ever used that in my vocabulary. I don't hold that in my back pocket. So seeing that and seeing the comments that stem from just that word, I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand what this word means. Didn't understand it during the show. Understood what it meant later. Yeah, I don't. Transmigration isn't used in isekais, brother. That's not what comments said. Great weapons. So I'm gonna have you hold your tongue. That's what other people said. As isekai, transmigration, isekai are the same thing. Well, there you go. Great weapon. What do you have to say about that? Anyway, so it's a type of isekai world. Okay, regardless. So I didn't know what transmigration is. I feel like that's fair. I hate when people, and that's another thing too. It's like when someone knows something and the other person doesn't, but they like the same thing, they flame them for it. Like, you don't know this. Like, how could you not know this? You're regarded. Like, I hate when people do that, because what if I turn the tables on you and then I knew something and then you didn't, and then I just start flaming you for it? Like, I'm sure you'll get defensive. Like, it's not productive. It's not productive at all. I hate when people flame you for the most minute things. When it does, like, just because I don't know the word, but you do, like, oh my God, I'm more intelligent than you are. Shut the fuck up. I'm going off topic. So let me go back to the context thing. I was already going off the rails. Let me go back to the context thing. So going back to what I was saying, watched it all the way through and understood what was going on with Klein. And I've seen enough anime in my time to understand that something feels off, whether it is pacing or butchering. Butchering is when you guys know what butchering means? And if you don't, that's okay. Let me explain. Butchering is when there's a manga and then they make it into an anime, but they don't put all of the manga source material into the anime. Great example. Tokyo Ghoul Season 2. They butchered the hell out of that thing. And that's and not saying that's what happened with LOTM, but that's what it felt like to me. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing a lot more than what I should be understanding. So it's either the pacing's really quick and they're skipping a lot of stuff. That's how I felt during the first or second episode through, or Sith, or they're butchering stuff. But why would they butcher stuff in a very high esteem, talked about anime of the year type, Why would they do that? So that didn't really feel right either. I was done with the first 2 episodes, uploaded it, and I saw on Twitter that people had the same sentiment. I got information that they shoved 44 chapters, I believe, into the first 2 episodes, skipping trivial lore-based things from a man, Klein / the person that's living in his body, because they want to get to a certain thing on episode 3. And they said that, or I guess the creators said that if they didn't do that, they would be shooting themselves in the own foot, because it would be, the highest proclaimed anime of the year, has really good animation, but it's boring, or because they're telling a slow story. I get that. But as a consumer, I feel like I got the narrative right. Like, I feel like I was getting fed a bunch of stuff. I made a tweet about it. I made a tweet about it on Twitter. This is what I said. This was my main source. I said, some of these Lord of Mystery fellas in my comments saying, you got to pay attention harder. I'm going to bring back to that comment real soon. My eyes were glued to the screen, which they were. Whether it's in the raw reaction, you can find on my Patreon, or you can go on my YouTube and just see what you clearly, the people in my comments that say that clearly see my eyes directed towards one portion of the screen. Not deviating anywhere, not talking to my chat, just paying attention. So them to say I got to pay attention harder is fucking ridiculous. I'm going to give you the best example of what these apps felt like to me. I recently finished Game of Thrones, probably a month ago. I binged it with the GF. It was a fantastic show up to season 7, up to season 8. We all know what happens there. I said, it's as if you hopped into season 7 of Game of Thrones. Now, if you remember season 7, it was a very fast-paced season 7. It felt like we were traveling all over the place really quickly without any context and just watched it. So let's imagine my mom came into my fucking apartment. I started season 7 from episode 1, and she sat down with me. I don't believe she would understand anything that's going on because there's so much time skipping. There's so much time skipping going about, which it did feel like that. It felt like I was supposed to know things, but I didn't. And I understand that's going to be talked about later, and I know the episodes, like I said, were shoved into 2 eps, or a lot of chapters were shoved into 2 episodes so we can get to episode 3. Context is important. I believe the pay attention harder narrative is so silly. I could have taken notes. I feel like I could have taken so many notes about it, and I guess this is where the translation comes as well. Sometimes the translations from Crunchyroll were just kind of bad. The reactions from some of the characters that some things were happening just didn't seem normal or human, I guess. I can't give you a prime example because I would have to go rewatch the show again. But when Klein, some dimensional shit's happening, and then the words that are coming out of his mouth just don't make any sense. Blueberry waffle. And he's just, he didn't say blueberry waffle, but it's just buttercup. Why did he say that? It just doesn't make any sense. So overall, a lot of my comments basically just stem from, you need to pay attention more, and you just weren't paying attention enough. And I feel like that's really unfair. And I want to ask each individual person that says that. I even got one on my Patreon literally today saying that that just means you're not paying attention enough. I'm like, I want to ask each individual person that comments this type of stuff, did you read the novel? Did you read it? And if your answer is yes, then you have a biasy towards your opinion, a really bad biasy. You're looking at it through rose-colored glasses. You're not going to be able to answer this truthfully because now you love a show that you read and it made a lot of sense and the buildup was perfect for you. But for someone that got 2 episodes worth of conjoined, fast-paced, it didn't feel right, and then you don't like the other person's opinions. But I'm giving it a chance, though. That's why I think that's really unfair. I'm giving it a fucking chance. Trunks, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate you, brother. I'm giving it a fucking chance. And I saw a lot of positive comments as well. Don't worry about it. People are just trying to gaslight you into thinking. That's another thing. I feel like I'm getting gaslit. There's no way anyone watched these 2 episodes and was like, fuck, I understand everything with zero to no context. It doesn't make any sense. Hell no. I don't believe you. If I straight up feel like people are just trying to gaslight you and stir. That's not how you get someone to watch your show, right? That's not how you get someone to watch your show. Especially if you're a fan of it and you see a reactor reacting to it, help them understand. And I saw people in my comments giving me context as well. I was like, oh yeah, dude, thank you. This makes sense. This made sense. This makes more sense. And I understand the pacing is going to slow down even further past episode 3, which is perfectly fine for me. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. I feel like it was a great show, the great first 2 episodes, but they need not too much on me. Because now I'm just okay, if I miss something, are people just going to call me regarded? Because I didn't see the fog or Like, oh, you didn't understand that when he's in his fog dimension, he can create anything, and he's trying to block out people's memories or people from invading his memories because he's an isekai person. Blah, 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 blah. Why do you not think? Why do you think they don't? He doesn't want people to find out he's an isekai person. I'm like, well, I get that, but at the same time, it is a magical world, and people are flipping dimensions and water upside down. Like, is it really that big of a deal? Oh no, no, like wall licker, just licking a drywall comment. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If I'm like, I'm an isekai person. Whoa, that's cool. Watch me flip this house because I'm a beyonder. I'm gonna flip this house and then suck your blood. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what the show's about. You know, I understand everything. Either read the manga or a wiki. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about it. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I feel like they could have done they did the best they could in the aspect of putting what they needed to do in the first 2 episodes, but hell, I was confused. So shout out to everybody that left a comment and helped me through it. I appreciate that a lot. But for everyone else, like, get off your high horse. That high horse is, brother, you must be sore from bouncing on it. Get off the high horse. Because there's no, like, I understand it's your favorite series and you've been waiting for it for years, but don't be coming down my neck because they didn't do the greatest job of giving me all the details and helping me understand it from a nuanced perspective. Like, cut me some slack. I'm going to still enjoy the show. I'll be watching it next Saturday here, live on Twitch. So make sure to come shoot through. And then if you miss it on Twitch, I'll be uploading it to YouTube the next day. So leave a like. And to all my new LOTM people, thank you guys for supporting. And if you guys want to watch my Hunter x Hunter reactions, subscribe. But that being said, always have a good day. And I'm excited for the series. Later, fellas.